I have friends that are in my other court. They don't know where I am.
Rob, tell me about this case, first of all, and tell me the outcome for today.
Today in the 221st District Court, Judge Michalk was gracious enough to take a break from her busy trial schedule to accept a plea of 30 years for aggravated robbery on an individual named Edward Brightmon. He and two other co-defendants, who will remain unnamed at this time, whose cases are still pending, decided to begin a crime spree down just north of the Hobby Airport in Houston, where they robbed a disabled Vietnam vet. They then robbed a middle-aged woman about a mile from there. They then robbed a pharmacist off of Northborough. They then robbed an individual getting out of his car with his wife off of Parramatta. And then they concluded, well, they didn't conclude their night, but they committed one last robbery of a gentleman who was sitting in his vehicle waiting to go work out at the 24-hour fitness on Lake Woodlands. So at that point, the victim in our case here had the wit enough to get a partial license plate and a color of the vehicle. Officers located the vehicle, got in behind the vehicle, discovered that the vehicle had been taken in an aggravated robbery earlier that night in Houston, and the chase was on. They went 45 south, speeds of 120 miles an hour to 610 east, I-10 west, 59 south, 45 south, and they cracked up at Scott Street in 45. All three individuals, with the help of the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department, the Houston Police Department, and the Harris County Sheriff's Department, had these very dangerous individuals in custody within minutes.
The man in Woodlands, he was assaulted also. And
he got punched.
He was just sitting in his car.
He got punched in the side of his head. Yes, he was listening to the radio, waiting for a radio show to end so he could go in and work out at the 24-hour fitness here on Lake Woodlands, and minding his own business, as were the other four victims in Harris County. They weren't doing anything to these people, and none of them signed up to have guns put in their face. Some of the victims were put on the floor, on the ground, and they were all terrified. Every single one of them basically told me that they thought they were going to get their head blown off.
Now, this young lady earlier that we talked to, she was just pulling into her apartment complex.
She was getting out. She had been shopping at Baybrook Mall. Her hands were full of the things that she bought with her own money, and these individuals decided to put guns in her face and to her neck and back her up to the point to where she thought she was going to get her head blown off.
Just took her car also?
Took her car, and her car was used in the robberies leading all the way up to the robbery up here on Lake Woodlands, as well as the ensuing chase that went over 40 miles at speeds of, like I said, 120 miles an hour.
What about the other suspect, just still waiting on trial on the other one?
Two of the other suspects are pending. They're set for trial in the 221st District Court. You know, once again, I commend the work of our Sheriff's Department, the patrol, all the patrol deputies and sergeants that put their personal safety at risk, making sure that these three individuals were apprehended, because nothing was going to stop them. They were driving the victim's car on the rim. Sparks were flying everywhere. I commend the hard work of the Houston Police Department, Patrol, Fox, their K-9 unit, their helicopter unit, Patrol, Robbery. Detectives did an outstanding job at making this case much easier for us and very rewarding. Commend the Sheriff's Department in Harris County for the job they did as well.
So basically, it started out in Houston, as a Houston case, ended up at the second Houston case, paramonitored in Harris County, then come up here to Montgomery County.
Yes, we work hard here, and our officers work hard here to try to ensure that career criminals, violent criminals, that their criminal history ends here.
Now, he's the first timer on this one, wasn't it?
Well, he had been handled for some juvenile stuff and had some misdemeanors, but no, this will be his first trip to the pen. He's 20 years old, and he's going to the pen, and he won't get out for over 20 years.
What about the people that he affected? How are they holding up now? I mean, you've talked to several of them.
Well, Ms. Griffin, who just gave a victim impact statement, felt relieved. Mr. Donenfield, the victim here, was happy to see a just result and a fair result happen. The other victims that I spoke to were not able to make it up here today, but they all know about it, and they're all happy.
Now, what about the Harris County cases? What happens in those?
They're going to run concurrent with our they're going to run, his cases are pending in the 232nd Mary Lou Keel's court, and they're going to run concurrent to his plea agreement here. That was part of the plea agreement.
All right. First of all, what's your name?
Doug Donenfield.
Spell your last name, Doug.
Donnenfield.
Tell me what happened.
I pulled into the parking lot tonight to go into the gym. I was listening to the news on my radio in the car. Two guys pulled up beside me in a little red something or other. And so I didn't pay any attention to them. And the next thing I know, one guy hit me in the neck, threw a punch and hit me in the neck, and then they both pulled out guns on me. They reached across in the car over me, and they grabbed my cell phone. They kept asking me where my money is, where my money is. Next thing I knew, my wallet was gone as well, and then they drove off. I got their license plate and called 911 immediately. The police were here in about 2 or 3 minutes, and then apparently a heck of a chase ensued after that.
Now, they got your phone and that. How'd you get a hold of 911? Tell me a little bit about
I borrowed a phone. Two guys were coming out of the gym, and I called to them to come and help me. I kept yelling, help, help, help. They ran over, and I borrowed one of their phones.
And the police got here pretty quick. The chase started.
Immediately.
What do you think about something like this in the parking lot? I mean, at night, you're up in the woodlands.
I'm just in shock over it. You know, for it to happen up here, and you know, it's a fairly well-lit parking lot, not the best in the world, but I know there's security cameras and everything. You'd never think this would happen. And the fact that they pulled guns on me, I mean, I was willing to give them my car, anything they wanted.
I mean, both of them had the guns?
Yes.
Were both of them talking to you, or just one of them? Or
Just one.
Just one of them, masks or anything, or no?
No.
Just plain everything?
Yeah.
So what do you think now? Still coming to the gym at night?
My wife already told me I'm not allowed here anymore at night. This was my last trip. It may have been my last trip even on my own accord, so.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up by it.
What do you think? I mean, what runs through your mind and stuff like that? They have guns on you and everything else.
Give them everything they want. Be polite. Don't fight. Don't argue. Don't yell. I just sat there quietly, let them take what they want. They kept saying, "Where's your money? Where's your money?" And I said, "It's in my wallet. It's right." You know, but I don't know why they kept asking me where my money was if they already had my wallet, you know. But
All right. Appreciate
all
it.
right, thank you.
Good to go. Okay, well, that's cool. We'll start with the easy part, your first and last name and the spelling.
My name is John Schmidt. I'm a detective with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. Last name spelling is S-C-H-M-I-T-T.
Can you tell us what happened this morning, sir?
Approximately 1:50, Montgomery County patrol deputies received a call of an aggravated robbery that occurred here at the 24-hour fitness. A male was sitting in the parking lot of the 24-hour fitness about to go inside when he was approached by two black males in the parking lot. One of them had a handgun. The second one assaulted him as he was sitting in his car. Some items were stolen from him while he was in the car. They got in a vehicle and left the parking lot. The victim was able to give a vehicle description. That went out over the patrol dispatch. Patrol deputies that were at 45 and Rayford Road located the vehicle. Chase pursued into Houston, where the vehicle was chased for several hours. Several agencies were involved. Eventually, the vehicle had an accident. Suspects fled the vehicle, and they were apprehended at the scene down on Scott Street in Houston.
Talk about how bold these folks were. I mean, they were not wanting to give up. It's a 35-mile chase into the city.
That's correct. During the pursuit, the firearm was thrown from the vehicle. It was recovered, so they knew that they had armed suspects in the vehicle. Like I said, they did have an accident in Houston where they bailed from the vehicle. There was a foot pursuit. They were apprehended at the scene, brought back here, and they're in custody with the Sheriff's Department here in Montgomery County.
Did they just crash into like a light pole or something? Were there stop sticks involved?
I'm not exactly sure how the pursuit ended on that end.
This could have turned out, I guess, a whole lot differently. And this is frightening to a lot of people. A lot of people go to the gym, and especially a 24-hour gym. And what do you?
Well, like I said, it's approximately 1:30 when the victim arrives here to work out. He's listening to his car radio when he's approached. We do find out that the vehicle that they were in is a stolen vehicle out of the city of Houston. They went ahead and recovered the vehicle down there. It was involved in a crime down there yesterday, and we're still in the middle of the investigation with trying to close up the things on our end.
So is there one armed robbery here or two? Because we've also heard two. There's just one here today.
Just one.
And as far as suspects, were there 3 apprehended at Scott, or were there 2? Because this guy's saying there were 2.
There were three suspects. One was driving the vehicle to approach the victim in the parking lot here, and they got it.
So 3 are in custody this morning.
Correct.
So there's the driver and then the 2 guys who approached him in the car.
That's correct.
Okay. Any history here that you know of the Woodlands or of these guys?
Well, as far as this 24-hour fitness, I'm not aware of any other previous incidents like this, but we are having some other incidents similar to this where suspects are using stolen vehicles, robbing stores or individuals, and then bailing from those cars and re-entering different cars to get away from these scenes.
Do you think these 3 people could be involved in other crimes? Do you know?
I don't know at this point.
And the stolen car, is that the other crime you were talking about yesterday?
That was a crime that occurred in the city of Houston that I don't know the particulars on that.
You don't know if somebody was like carjacked or anything?
I don't know.
Okay.
When they pulled off over at Scott and McGowan, were they just still trying to get away from police?
Yes,
or what did happen that maybe pushed them in that direction?
I do know that one of our patrol units pinned the driver's door on the suspect vehicle, but I don't know if they had already come to a stop. And that's why I want to go into the details. I'm not sure what happened.
On the 2 suspects that went to the car, did one have a gun, not the other?
One had a firearm, and the other one physically assaulted the victim.
Hit him in the neck.
Hit him in the neck.
Okay. All right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
You're welcome.